We are live, Thunderbird. We are. We're going to be playing Grixis Coco, a list provided by Casey here. Hopefully Casey can join us at some point during the stream, but if not, Casey will be able to find it on YouTube. Thank you, Casey, for supporting the stream. If you want to be like Casey and you're here live, exclamation point, donate or tip, or look down in the description below for YouTube folks. And with that, yes. Collected company. No, just kidding. That's not what the Coco stands for. Coco in this one, for the Grixis colors, stands for Collected Conjuring, and that is what we are going to be playing. What's up, D20? How's it going? 18 months, year and a half. If you were to put 1.5, there would be a 2 somewhere in there. Good number. Glad to have you here. If only Coco was an instant. Indeed, this Coco is sorcery speed, and this one, unlike Collected Company, which we're all familiar with, is essentially the opposite, being exile the top 6 cards of your library. You may cast up to 2 sorcery spells with mana value 3 or less from among them without playing their mana cost, and put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Basically, it is Coco, but for sorcery spells. It could be... You could make it instant if you were to change it into basically a Jeskai build, but this build has Grixis for Blightning, Dreadbore, Thoughtseize, and Inquisition, along with a relatively good smattering of black cards here in the sideboard. So, that is what we have. You didn't know the spell existed? Yeah. It's an Izzet spell, so you can tack another color on here, or you could just be Izzet. It's kind of like the, what is it? The experiment one, the Ravnica, Return to Ravnica spell. Oh my gosh. Just poof. Anyway, we'll think of the thing, or someone in chat will tell us. Basically, this is Grixis with Thing in the Ice as an alternate win condition in Bedlam Reveler. And then you have Collected Conjuring here to just cast a bunch of spells. If you have a Thing in the Ice out here and you had 4 or 5 mana, you could do like a Serum Visions, Collected Conjuring, and then Thing in the Ice is probably flipping. Epic Experiment, there you go. That's what we've got. Quicken is a card too. We could use Quicken. Then it's a 5 mana Collected Conjuring, but we'll stick with the 4 because that is what was provided for us. Now, Casey has mentioned that we could go ahead and update the list some if we have some of the newer sets, but that being said, since I don't really have an idea of how this card is going to really work, I don't think I want to. Some things that I could see here are maybe some bolts instead of just the flame slash here, but that doesn't play well with Collected Conjuring, so you have to play maybe like Lava Spike or something. I don't know if that's the right play. I don't think it is. This list could be a Delver list instead of the Bedlam Reveler, in that we have a lot of spells that can flip Delver. I believe Delver's just a spell, instant or sorcery. So that's something that you could adjust here, but then you're reducing your Collected Conjuring. Ideally, in some fashion here, Collected Conjuring is getting to make people discard quite a few cards here and maybe do quite a bit of damage. We'll see if that's the case. I don't think I have much more to say about the list. I do see Chandra Torch of Defiance, a little bit of an oddball one here, but we've got 2 of those. We've got Angers for board wipe since we are not playing things like Delver. We've got discard here. This is basically Skelemental in another form as well. Yeah, it's a lot of sorcery stuff. We're going to be playing at sorcery speed. That's something that Grixis tends to like to do versus Jeskai, which likes all their instant spells. So we'll see how it goes. You think if it was instant, this deck could see meta play, and maybe this shows up as an instant someday in the future. We'll see. We'll see. It would be interesting if it was an instant and allowed you to cast sorcery spells found off of it as instants or something like that. That way, you kind of have to build a deck full of sorcery speeds and you can't have a bunch of just random counters or other things like that. I don't know. Let's go. I think I have tickets or something. I don't know what I have. Oh, I have play points. Perfect. Oh, that's right. It's a chance to get on the leaderboard here if we go 5-0. Let's begin. Happy Wednesday to everyone. Glad to have you here. Glad to be back. Had some announcements for the subs. We'll talk about those as we go along for the night. Let's play first. Seems like a good thing to do. A little worried about the 20 lands. It's a little low, but we have Sleight of Hands and Serum Visions. Well, we got a Luris here. Let's see if I remember how to play Magic. Let's minimize that. Actually, no, let's not minimize that. Let's move. There we go. No black mana, but we have lots of red. I think I'll keep. Seems reasonable. We can try to find a couple lands here with the Serum Visions. And off we go. I do like a good Serum Visions here. I like this as the sorcery draw and then scry 2. We hit a Scalding Tarn here. Question is, do I want to pick up an extra collected Conjuring? Maybe I want to pillage because it's Luris and they might not have very many things. Maybe I just want to worry about the one collected Conjuring. Picking up a second one here seems a little bit meh. We'll go ahead and put the pillage on top. If I'm not Blightning or Firecrafting, I might just pillage their land like crazy. Collected Conjuring would be nice to take on top in case my opponent does have a way to maybe steal something. However, they don't. And we have Luris, Sacred Foundry, and Myth Realized. Kind of makes me wonder if they have their own land destruction. We'll find out. We'll find out. Myth Realized is sometimes seen in land destruction lists. What a night it is. Grixis Coco against Luris Myth Realized. I guess. I'm not really sure. We got Luris plus Myth Realized. Maybe we have like Baubles and I think land destruction would make sense. All right. All right. A little Swift Spear. A little Swift Spear. Samurai, thank you for the sub. Welcome. I guess do I say welcome back? You've been here. In for one here. We're going to have a light up the stage. We're going to have nothing. All right. Sounds good to me. We'll go get our black mana here. Double red is obtained through here. I could get double blue. We don't really have like a reason for double blue, but I do have quite a few blue cards in here. I have some black in here too. Kind of feeling like a Watery Grave makes the most sense here. So we'll go ahead and grab that. We'll see how our mana selection goes tonight. All right. So we can Firecraft a Swift Spear. I kind of feel like I should just pillage here. I wonder if they have like Mana Tithe open. I don't know if making them discard 2 cards makes sense just yet. Let's go ahead and nail them with a pillage here. We'll hit the Sacred Foundry since it's a mountain. Maybe they have Lava Dart in their list somewhere. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. Take that. Haha, damage. Like I said, maybe the double pillage here really messes them up going forward. Who knows? Who knows? Lightning Bolt. I didn't necessarily lock my strat. I could just Exquisite Firecraft here. They didn't play another creature, so kind of a thing I could have done. Well, I could have easily Blightning and then they get rid of 2 lands that maybe they have in their hand and then go to pillage them. You never know. You never know. My opponent's kind of running out of cards here. Maybe I can get them to play something down that's like 2 mana here. Eidolon would be a great Firecraft. Manamorphose. I feel like just pillaging again here might just make sense. Maybe if they do a lot of damage here, we'll have to Firecraft. Making Boros colors is crash through. This would be a 3/3. Hits me for 6. I think I'm gonna just pillage off the white source here. That would be fun. How many more white sources could they possibly have? I'll collect a Conjuring if I had a land. Ooh, wrong style of land here. I'm getting close to being able to Bedlam Reveler. I think once again we'll go ahead and pillage and pass the turn here, shutting them off of white, playing a little bit of the land destruction. I might take 5 or so damage here. I'm hoping white shuts them off enough. Maybe we have to be removing this Swift Spear in the future and not trying to play this dancing game with my opponent. Extra mountain, but they don't get to use Myth Realized, which is good. There's a Soul Scar Mage. A little frightening there, followed by a Crash Through. Okay, so that's 2 damage coming through here. They do draw a card, so Blightning doesn't quite remove things. This is target player or planeswalker. It's not for a creature, unfortunately. I guess it's going to be Collected Conjuring here. Oh, Mutagenic Growth. Okay. 5 damage. Going to 4. Going to 1. I'm going to 1. That was not good. That was not good. Well, we get to spin the wheel once. That's what we want to do. Maybe I can destroy everything here. Being that I'm at 1. All right, well, this goes into play, whatever. And I don't believe there is anything I could do if I played Bedlam Reveler here, so Collected Conjuring it is. Let's spin the wheel and see if we can hit 2 removal spells. So Spirit go burr. Yeah, we get to cast the card. Oh, I get to kill, and that's it. I feel like not showing this card here because I know I'm dead because they have 1 and 1 here, so I'm just going to show the 1 here and just take a peek at what else they had. A Boros Charm. All right, so if we would have hit 2 Firecrafts, or if I used my Firecraft earlier than the Pillage, you can make an argument we'd be okay, but at the same time we would have had a Boros Charm hitting our face, so we'll see. We'll see. We've got some fun times. It just looks like I'm pillage land destruction here, and we're basically going to get rid of these pillages and do something else. Do something else. Maybe like Collective Brutality seems pretty strong here. Even Engineered Explosive seems pretty good for 1-drops. Myth Realized plus Swift Spear plus Soul Scar. I don't think I want Thoughtseize here, nor do I want Pillages. That would be the 5. We like Exquisite, we like Anger, I like a blocker, and Thing in the Ice, like a creature removal, like card removal. Let's talk about Kess real quick. So Kess we didn't really touch on at the beginning because we were so focused on Collected Conjuring, but Kess is kind of cool here. 3/4, good blocker, flying, excellent. During each of your turns, you may cast an instant or sorcery spell from your graveyard. If the spell cast this way would be put into your graveyard, exile it. Perfect. More removal, extra Collected Conjurings. Sounds fantastic. We'll see if we get to do that at some point in this league as well. Let's take these out and these in. Let's think if there's anything else I want. When did Kess become modern legal? I have no idea. Who knows? Feed the Swarm's okay. I kind of hate taking the damage, but this could get rid of a Myth Realize. Kind of something interesting, considering Myth Realize is really hard for me to get rid of because we don't have Bolt. All right, D20. Legion's End. I mean, Legion Ends is pretty decent. Let me think here. If we were to bring Legion's End in, what would I want out? I think actually let's take one Chandra out and bring the Legion's End in. My opponent is a little more aggressive, and this does get rid of creatures that my Luris friend can deal with. I'm not too worried about Luris. I think that'll be the only change. Let's go. Kess is in Modern Horizons 1 and treasure chests. Little treasure chest on there. Let's play first. Let's make things happen. All right. I think I've got to keep this. Unfortunately, it looks like I'm going to take... Well, actually, let's go get Watery Grave here and then put like a thing or two in. Let's not take damage. I could go get a basic island in play Sleight of Hand, but I want to go get a Watery Grave. This is a Dono deck. Yes, it is. Am I going to buy any Modern Horizons 2? I don't think I've bought any Magic cards for several years now. My last purchase was Vesperlark components when we 5-0'd and Karn the Great Creator whenever Karn came out. You do the math. First time catching live. It's really hard because I live in Italy and it's really late. Bolus isn't here, but we've got a friend of your Italian friend of yours that stops by. It is late over there. What is it? Buongiorno? I think that's just hello. Good to have you here. What's up, MTG Jesus? How's it going? How's it going? I will probably block here. I would rather block them use Mutagenic, and then I get to Exquisite Firecraft this when they don't have Mutagenic in their hand. This assumes that I get a land. We could also just plop down second thing in the ice as a blocker after this. Definitely blocking here. Life total seems reasonable to protect here. Bolt to here and this. It's fine. Making Myth Realized a little bit bigger is not the greatest here, but hey, we block this. No harm, no foul. Stay at 16. Oh, we do hit our land. It's unfortunate that our land is not red. So double red, definitely a priority, it seems. I think it's just going to be Sleight of Hand, take a look at the top, and do some digging here. Got to be mindful that the Lava Dart here could make this lethal for our thing in the ice. MTGO giving you a lot of bugs? I'm sorry to hear that. All right, what do we like here? Do we just want another thing in the ice? Collected Conjuring is not castable yet. That is the card, the namesake card here. Buono Giorno. Darkmoor Salvage isn't going to hand when dredged. Oh, that's no good. I'm going to take the Collected Conjuring over the thing in the ice here, just hoping to spike my land and be good. If not, we'll cast probably Blightning, and I may not defend here with the thing in the ice this time, thinking that I could potentially get it to flip. You like Thing to buy more time here? Definitely a reasonable thought here. Mithril is being booted up. It's a 1/1 currently. We get a Swift Spear as well. We have one prowess trigger here for the band. I'm probably supposed to block here. I guess I'll go ahead and block here, see if they want to do a bolt out of hand instead of using Lava Dart, and then I can use Blightning to get rid of everything. The bolt goes to Thing in the Ice. I hit for 4. I'm at 10, maybe a little more, depending on what they want to do with Lava Dart. Are we running Quicken? No, we are not. I could take a draw trying to hit a land for Blightning. If I miss here, my opponent's just going to Lava Dart from Graveyard plus at least one spell here. One spell being, let's assume, Bolt. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Lava Dart's a kill. Blightning potentially buys me slightly more time here, taking 4. We currently have only one spell in the graveyard for Bedlam. We'd end up with 2. Doesn't make Bedlam that cheap, and Bedlam's not castable without a second red. Not having the second red this game is a problematic piece. Really nervous to Serum Visions and just miss our land drop, because then we just die. If I shock in here, assuming Serum Visions finds a shock, we go to 8, we take 4, killing their hand. Taking 4, we could even be taking another 3, so I'd be at 1. Let me go ahead and Blightning here. Let's Blightning, get rid of the hand here. My opponent basically can put me to 3? Well, I'm glad I got rid of a Boros Charm. That would have killed us. Cantrip's a Sunbaked Canyon, so they're either booting this up or they're maybe pinging me with damage. They find another Sunbaked Canyon. Boots up Mithralized. Lava Dart might be lethal here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to face. All right, it's not lethal. I almost need engineered explosives off the top, honestly. If I can find an engineered explosive, I can kill all 3 of these. Down to 2. E. All right, Collected Conjuring's not it. Let's go ahead and Serum Visions trying to find a land. Oh, I can get the engineered explosives. What I can do with this, though, I can't cast it. Oh no! This land's not good either. We have the engineer, but they've got us here on board. Too much damage there on board. 1 card deeper for the engineered explosives. If we would have done the Serum Visions, we would have hit the card, but they would have killed us with the Boros Charm. Maybe it's not good to run into a quick list. We are so sorcery speed. Let's continue on our way. This is the list. You can always get the list with ! deck list. But yes, no Quicken here. We do have a Boseiju, which is kind of a cool land card to be running here. Got to get to those 4 manas if we can. See how it goes. See how it goes. With so many 1-drops, part of me wonders if you could trim a Bedlam Reveler or trim the 2 Chandras and put a Dreadhorde Arcanist in. You don't hit with Collected Conjuring, but it lets you rebuy all of these 1-drops pretty nicely. That could get you kind of further ahead. We'll have these questions to answer as we go. Yeah, Dreadhorde could be really good. The deck that we just played is why you like to play Boggles. Boggles would be very good against them. Get a little bit of life gain on a big giant like 7/7 or something. How do they even win? How do they win? They can't attack you. They try to Boros Charm. You just slam in for 10/10 because then you hook up another Daybreak Coronet and they just cry. Let's go. Maple is our opponent. We get to play first. Seems like the appropriate thing to do. All right. Another Luris spell. Let's keep. We're going to fetch the Polluted Delta for basic here and try to sleight of hand a second red source or a land of any kind into our hand. We have the Flame Slash, which we can go get a basic mountain with. I'm worried that this Luris opponent will be of the burn variety. So let's go ahead and keep the damage to a minimum. Damage to a minimum would be ideal. Let's go. That's right, opponent. I'm not playing Blood Moon. No Blood Moons here. Basic Island. This is apparently the island that Magic decided randomly for me. We'll take the Steam Vents. We don't need an extra Bedlam Reveler, and off we go. This looks pretty decent here. Could fetch for basic. Can play Dark Slick Shores. Okay. I see. Our opponent is of the, shall we say, hardened scales variety. We can put lands into play tapped. Luckily for ourselves, nothing is played at instant speed here. We are the slow and casual list. Hangerback Walker for 1, grafting onto it, making it a 2/2. Seems decent thus far. Imagine Collected Conjuring hitting double Blightling. All right, let's go ahead and Flame Slash Hangerback Walker here. My opponent didn't graft, so I feel safer to do this. We can play Dark Slick Shores, and then once we do this, we can Scalding Tarn. I'm thinking that the Anger of the Gods may be just slightly better here going forward because it can kill some things and not get some modular triggers. Try to remember what it's like. Nah. You know what's the quality of this deck? I can hit the F6 button. I am not a counter Magic player. I'm very bad at it. Casey, when you see this, know that I really appreciated that. I hope this isn't Dreadhorde. Ooh. Walking Ballista is killable through Anger of the Gods, and maybe what I do here. My opponent grafts nothing. They grafted nothing. I kind of want to do Collected Conjuring. I have fairly large amount of hits here. I have Pillages that can get rid of these. I think it's Conjuring. We'll go get that basic mountain. I could hit 2 Blightlings, which is a little unlikely, but we could steal some things that could win them the game. Let's go. Yeah. Cast this thing. 6 cards deep. Let's take a look. Why are we not casting this? All right, there's an Anger of the Gods. So that can get rid of the 2 creatures. I don't want to do Dreadboard then, so just Anger plus a Serum Visions. I guess I could stack those more appropriately, but this will work. Draw Chandra. I could Exquisite or Anger the Gods plus this Thoughtseize. I don't think I want the land. Although I could play the land and then play Chandra Uptick Anger, which isn't actually a bad idea either. Chandra out seems good. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and bottom the Thoughtseize and take the Sulfur Falls. This way I can Chandra and Uptick Inquisit or Anger here. We also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things in the graveyard now, making Bedlam Reveler a potential interest. Hardened Scales. Uh-oh, something might show up that's very large here. Yeah, Chandra Uptick Thoughtseize is not quite a thing we can do. Luris goes to hand here. All right. It's kind of scary. Kind of scary. So we're definitely going to Chandra here. I'm going to make it look like I have maybe a Bolt in hand. They don't know. Uptick for damage and pass turn. Spire Bluff Canal exiled. Excellent. Okay. Extra land here. Are we going to play Luris? Luckily for me, I could downtick Chandra and Anger to clear the board. Something that I can do. Plays a Walking Ballista as a 1/1. Becomes a 2/2. And can make this a 6/6, I believe. And does so. Arcbound Ravager as well. This is somewhat frightening. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. If I make 2 mana with Chandra here, I could Exquisite Firecraft plus Anger. If I do that, this would die. If they sacrifice here, this dies as well. Because I would Anger the Gods first. Would they put all 6 into here, or would they want to eat and keep one thing alive? If I do mana here, it kind of indicates that I'll be able to do both. Sleepless and be able to see my stream at 2 a.m. We're hitting all parts of the world today. Let's go mana here. I'm gonna start with a Serum Visions though. They don't know what's happening. Serum Visions first. See, I'm gonna draw whatever that card was. Land's not very good. So they could play Luris down plus whatever's in the graveyard, which is Hangerback or Walking. I think I want to bottom actually both of these. I don't think either of these gets me very far here. I have too many good things to be doing. Let's go ahead and start with an Anger the Gods. This way when they try to keep the Arcbound Ravager alive, yes, I've got to use Firecraft as well, but this will now be exiled. Oh, snap. This isn't what I thought they'd do. Okay. This would make it down to 7. Chandra's not a thing here. Guess we Bedlam Reveler now. Germany, almost 3 a.m. You people need to go to bed. Let's go ahead and get a Steam Vents here. Let's just play one of these Bedlam Revelers here. I'm not going to be doing the Exquisite Firecraft at this point. This creates at least a blocker. And see what else I find here. Probably should have left black open. If I left black open and fetched black instead, if I hit Dreadbore, I would have been able to use that. All right, collected Conjuring though, and we have a blocker. That'll work for me. We are almost dead though. Pumping once here gives this 11. It's kind of scary because then they use 4 here. Makes 11, 4 down to 7 and kills. We'll see if they find that line though. Opponent can kill me here. My opponent can kill me also by playing Luris and then playing Arcbound Ravager. And if I would have had the black open, at least I would have been able to Thoughtseize, but then Walking Ballista would have been lethal anyway. Who needs sleep when the second dose of the vaccine won't let you? Had a fever at 4:15. I'm glad you're feeling better. Well, they add it all up and they get there. Scales math is hard. They've got us. They're shooting Bedlam Reveler. They shoot Bedlam, they attack, and then they fire it all off at our base. Lightning. Okay. Math is for winners. Pillage seems okay. Engineered Explosives seems okay. Legion's End, maybe. Liliana Last Hope, maybe. Bedlam seems hit or miss in this matchup. Thing of the Ice could be kind of nice to bounce everything. Chandra seems a little hit or miss as well compared to some of these cards. Could also play 1 to 2 Unmoored Egos and just name Arcbound Ravager or Walking Ballista and be pretty okay. I might like that over like a singleton, maybe thing or slight or something like that. You know what? I'm going to take Kess out. I think Kess is decent in a more mid-range, but being that my opponent's more of a combo list, I think, yeah, this might be able to hit a few things, but I mean, I guess it could replay the stuff that I get to burn off immediately. You know what? I just can't do that. Kess, get back in here. Let's take out a sleight of hand. Let's go. Let's go. All right, let's try it again here. Scales is just a math test. It kind of can be. All right. I'll keep this. Again, we don't have that much interaction immediately. Let's see here. We need to get more red in the future. Let's go ahead and fetch for basic island here and Serum Visions. Set things up for us. Exquisite, Exquisite, and a Scalding Tarn. I kind of want all of this. We'll just put it all on top here. We'll play the Blood Crypt sideways, and then we'll be doing Unmoored Ego, Blightnings, Exquisites, and eventually Collected Conjuring, and seeing if we can just kill everything. We'll see. I have Avaros hooked on Bloons now? What do you mean, Kirkinator? Is Evan playing Bloons? Twitch.tv/Avaros. Oh my gosh, he's playing Bloons. He's playing Bloons. Apparently I can't chat to him. There we go. I have him muted, but he's apparently playing Bloons. So if he responds, I have no idea what he's saying. All right, animation module is going to be a little bit rough here. Going to be a little bit rough. Exquisite Firecraft because this is because it's a sorcery speed that does 4 damage. And since we're playing to Collected Conjuring, we can kind of cheat and try to do 3 mana things. All right, I want to do an Unmoored Ego, I think. We'll go get our basic mountain here. An Unmoored Ego to name something disastrous for us. I think Arcbound Ravager or Walking Ballista is the scariest thing. Since Walking Ballista can hit us, maybe I name that first. Abraham, of course. Thank you for the sub. Who plays Scales at FNM? Deck is gas. Yep. Oh, it can be. It can be. Grayus, I am streaming. Just might be observing some good things over there. Maybe this Friday oh no, I'm not available on Friday. I think I'm going to name Arcbound Ravager here because of the animation module. I'm afraid that that's just going to get out of hand. All right, well, they didn't have any in their hand. I don't believe this saves the hand, so let's grab a quick screenshot of their hand. They grabbed all 4, it looks like. Boom, get out of here. Exiled. So we have an Arcbound Worker, Assassin's Trophy, which won't do anything to us, Damping Sphere, which is horrendously bad for us, 2 lands here, and a Relic. They do play the Relic, and they're probably going to play this Damping Sphere, which means Collected Conjuring is just literally not going to be a thing I can play for a while. That sucks. That sucks. Relics us, that's fine. We don't use our graveyard ever. Except when Kess shows up. No! Alright, we're gonna Blightning them just to reduce their hand some more here. I know they have some lands. What did they do? They played that forest. Luckily, I have some removal. Arcbound Worker and Assassin's Trophy. So we have one land and the unknown card. Oh no, there's a Hardened Scales. That was off the top somewhere. Overgrown Tomb. So we've exhausted all of the cards here. Hey, they give you the 50 bits. Opponent's gonna attack us for 1. The Damping Sphere is so good for them too. It's crazy. Let's get a Watery Grave. A little more red wouldn't be bad. I'd like to see almost 2 running lands here. Pops Relic, that's fine. Guess I showed them Bedlam Reveler. There's 1 land. I know this seems really silly, but I'm gonna go ahead and kill the 1/1. Grace, I'm just jealous. Well, I'm a little jealous. There goes that 1/1. Get it out of there. Oh gosh, it's an Inkmoth Nexus. I might die here. Alright. With the animation module here, I'm gonna have to almost hit like 2 pillages. Opponent's gonna take a Exquisite Firecraft. So I'm almost hoping just for another land so I can collect a Conjuring for the best that it offers. For the best that it offers. Maybe I'm not supposed to fetch there, looking for land. We'll get a little more red here. Come on, land. I'm probably supposed to Conjuring here and hope that one of the spells is like a pillage and then kill like either Damping Sphere or Inkmoth Nexus. I look 6 deep for a card that matters. I'm likely to hit another discard spell anyway. Let's go ahead and spin the wheel here for 1 spell. Well, I hit an Unmoored Ego. I could hit a Serum Visions. I hit an Inquisition, which is that discard. I didn't get anything to take care of the Damping Sphere. The Serum Visions would allow me to get a land or a spell that would deal with this sphere. I don't think I want Inquisition going forward. We'll cast that. And we'll cast Serum Visions, pay 1. This is getting really weird. All right, we do pick up our land, which is great. I'm gonna put the Firecraft on the bottom, and I'm gonna pick up the Thing in the Ice as well. We'll play our land here. I'm not going to fetch, because I believe I have a basic swamp I can go get. Thing in the Ice looks really good. Proliferates a counter over on Llanowar, and makes a creature. Makes it a 3/3 too. Interesting. I don't think I would have done that. I think I would have tried to do something with the Inkmoth. Land played here. Plenty of mana. Extra Damping Sphere. Oh my gosh. It's like they're prepared for us or something. Oh well, we'll be playing Thing in the Ice down. I'm surprised they didn't attack with the Inkmoth there. Alright, Thing. I'm trying to decide if I fire off a Thoughtseize here. I think I might. Just burn the Thoughtseize. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Yeah, they can play whatever. They're playing it strange, but they're playing it well. Luckily, we'll be able to flip Thing in the Ice. That's probably my only winning line here. This is why we went ahead and did this, although I still need a set of spells. Luckily, this is not flying, so we do have a blocker here. They're going to make another one, though, putting a counter on the Reborn and getting another token. I'm trying to think what I could get here because casting multiple spells here, the Damping Sphere is just going to wreck us. It's just not going to happen. What's up, Big B? 13 months. 13 months. That's a dangerous number. 13 is exactly how much life my opponent has. It's a sign. Thank you so much. Tax for 6. I'm obviously blocking one of these. Going to 7. If I fetch here... Oh, that's right. They can double these with the animation module. Never mind, this isn't happening. I'm not bouncing with the Thing in the Ice, and if I didn't block here, I'd be going to 2. 1 after the fetch. I don't believe there's really anything I could hit here. I don't have like a damnation type of effect in the list, unfortunately. I mean, we can spin the wheel for 1 extra spell here. I can get a Dreadbore. Kill the biggest thing. I feel slightly cheated here, considering we are playing against a deck that's played 2 Damping Spheres. Yes. At the same time, though, with them leaving 1 thing on the Llanowar here in the animation module, my opponent's been able to do all kinds of stuff here. In response to this, they should then... they could put tokens over here, but they hit me for 6 anyway. They've got us dead. I guess I didn't expect Damping Sphere. I probably didn't expect Damping Sphere because I just wasn't playing like Snapcaster, but they don't know that. They don't know that. All right. Solid start. 0-2-0-2. Let's move on. We're doing it all tonight. Supporting a streamer buddy. We're streaming for you all. We're paying attention to our chat, paying attention to their chat. Multitasking Fluffy. Really, I'm not. I saw 1 question asked and I answered it. I'm a mod over there too. I'm modding as well. Do we think we're going to get this cast down? See the truth in this list? See the truth. See the truth. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put one of those cards into your hand, the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Spell was cast from anywhere other than your hand. Put each of those cards into your hand instead. Interesting. It's a little bit different than Peer Through Depths, which goes 5 deep. Problem is, Peer Through Depths obviously is instant. So See Through Truths is kind of an interesting one. I actually like that. That's a really spicy one. That's really spicy. I feel like you want some more like 2 converted mana costs. If I did more 2 converted mana costs than if you had, for example, the See Through Truths, when you then got some cards into your hand, you wouldn't be playing 1 spell at a time. But I guess maybe then you could get Collected Conjuring off of your Collected Conjuring. That'd be kind of crazy. All right, this opening hand looks decent. Let's go ahead and keep this. I think it's pretty obvious to do an Inquisition first off Watery Grave, followed by Serum Visions afterwards. Should be able to hit a few lands here and get to these collected Conjurings and see if the Coco works for us here. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. Who knows? Opponents deciding what they want to do with their starting 7, and they do mulligan. Down to 6. I love the art on this. This is great. Sort of Thanos Snap-like, but then it's got like 6 gloves instead of 5 Infinity Stones. All right, let's go a fetching here. Watery Grave as discussed, and we'll lead with Inquisition of Kozilek. Bird, Knight of Autumn, and a Spellskite. Huh. Did I just take the Spellskite? Like, I have a decent amount of things that can kill Bird. I think I'm going to take Spellskite. I know the Bird kind of ramps them a little bit here, but they don't have anything that worries me. You may have a Bird. Take the Bird. It does look like some sort of blink list for sure, especially seeing a Knight of Autumn. Spellskite protecting potentially future things is why I took the Spellskite. All right, let's start with I guess Sleight of Hand slightly better in case I hit another blue source here. So let's start with Sleight of Hand. It's a little bit easier to hit the next land. Oh, of course. But Flame Slash is cool. So let's Flame Slash. Play that, and sure, we'll just kill the Bird. There, we got rid of the Bird. We did it. A little nervous we didn't find a land there. Let's see if we find a land in our next couple cards with Serum Visions. Misty Rainforest play. Do we have a 2-drop Fine Friend over there? Turn comes back to us. Let's go ahead and start with Serum Visions. We're going to bottom Thing in the Ice. We're going to put the Watery Grave on top. We miss a land again. We do not have double red. Unfortunately, having to fetch Watery Grave because Serum Visions and Inquisition at the beginning is going to potentially punish us briefly here. That's okay. We'll get to these Conjurings soon enough. Misty Rainforest goes and gets a breeding pool, and it is their turn. Turn number 3. Finds a basic Plains here off Windswept Heath and plays Knight of Autumn. Makes it probably a 4-3 at this point, right? And does so. So if we were to hit that red land, we'd be good. We know it's a Watery Grave on top. So we won't be killing it this time, but maybe right after this we will. Maybe. And we pass back. By the way, if Grayus is listening in, it's interesting that he has switched off of Magic because it's laggy. I can tell it's actually fairly laggy. I don't know if you guys can kind of see some of the lag that's happening when I try to click things and stuff like that. But it's very, very much slow. All right, well, we have a Thoughtseize. I guess I'm firing that off. Yeah, it's got like a slight lag. It's a bit weird. Ooh, an Eldritch Evolution, then a few Prime Speakers here. Prime Speakers are 2 4s. Maybe I'm supposed to take this Evolution, but maybe I just take a Prime Speaker here. What's up, Ice Up? Evolution's a little scary. I'm going to take one Prime Speaker because I can get rid of the one Prime Speaker for the exquisite Firecraft. That being said, I'll be taking 8 across the 2 turns. Probably having to shock in, and if I have to fetch them, we're just dead. I'm seeing a problem with the list, and that's okay. We're here to find, won't say problems, but we're here to at least find things that are making us struggle. And I think the big struggle right now is that we don't have enough removal for some of these creatures that are immediately happening. I kind of want a Blood Chief's Thirst in the list, or something else that deals with these little creatures. All right, so we have Prime Speaker Evolution, and my opponent didn't play anything, making me think they have a collected company of sorts. I did hit Scalding Tarn. The problem with the Scalding Tarn is if I go get a mountain, I have to fetch Shock. If I fetch Shock and fail to hit anything off Collected Conjuring, we die. I could kill this. My opponent could have not put anything into play, thinking that I have maybe a board wipe. So Fetch Shock might be my only play here. Fetch Shock, Steam Vents, Exquisite Firecraft for being sure about this. I don't think I want to play a Bedlam Reveler into this, and I'm not sure I can do much against a Collected Company anyway. So Steam Vents here, Fetch Shock will kill the Knight, hoping they don't have like Restoration Angel or something crazy like that. This also hides Collected Conjuring for a turn anyway. Just hoping they have no way to blink this, no way to Coco, no way to do a million things here. My opponent's attempting to cast something. And I picked up exactly Restoration Angel. Good game. Bummer. Bummer. Okay. My opponent is blinking things in. Lots of creatures, so I don't want to do Collective Brutality. Legion's End is a maybe. Could maybe hit something because it's just an extra removal, so I'll probably bring this in. I don't think Pillage is very good, so that's a single swap out. I'm wondering if Engineered Explosives might work. So by showing Restoration Angel, we're basically playing against something like Restoration Kiki here, which makes me want to go ahead and grab an Unmoored Eco for Prime Speaker, or for Evolution, Restoration Angel, or Kiki Jiki. So I like that. I like that a bit over like Chandra. Kind of want one Engineered Explosives. It's probably better than a Pillage. Let's run it. This might explain why there weren't too many people streaming Magic 2 when we were both looking at the Magic Online, being it was laggy. Perhaps. We work through it though. But yeah, I think this 2 slot, I want more removal. When you think about what we have here, we have a Flame Slash. And then we have all the Exquisite Firecrafts, but we don't have much here at 2. I guess we have a pair of Dreadbores. So we have like 3 things here that's removal. Being that we've played against some more aggressive lists so far, definitely wanting a little more removal on the lower end. Okay. Let's go ahead and keep. Probably go get that Blood Crypt, so I have double red this time around. I'll have blue and black as well off the Blood Crypt, so the Unmoored Ego's still live. Thinking the Ice can come down. Inquisition. Gotta hit a 3rd and 4th land at some point, knowing that there's 18, 17 lands that have hit. It's a little bit light there. We'll keep it going, though. Opponent's mulled to 6 in, has now mulled to 5, so that's in our favor. Let's make it happen. Let's find that Blood Crypt. Where you at, Blood Crypt? Gotcha. Inquisition. Alright, Renegade Rallier, Spellskite, Knight of Autumn. I think I just take this Renegade Rallier. Because this could technically ramp them. If they fetch, they could get the Spellskite back. I'm going to take the Rallier here. I think it's the safest thing to take there. Keeping a one-lander, very dangerous. Very dangerous. I mean, at this point, if I get up to Unmoored Ego without them having played anything, I can just name Prime Speaker. Legion's End's not a bad thing to see here as well. Legion's End's got to hit something like Spellskite. Has to hit something like Bird. Maybe they have Voice of Resurgence. I'm trying to remember how they work all the way up. They usually have Hippo, Restoration Angel, Kiki-Jiki. They have a bunch of things that untap, but that's when they're comboing off. So we'll see how it goes. Misty Rainforest was the use, Stomping Ground. On to my opponent's turn number 2. Opponent does find their land and gets to do the Spellskite stuff. At least we have a Legion's End target here if we miss land drop. Which we do. We can at least Legion's End. Thing in the Ice goes down to 3 here when we get to peek into their hand one more time. All right, so there is Kiki-Jiki. What a hand. All right, so there's Kiki-Jiki. They have Prime Speaker and they have Knight of Autumn. We'll see if they hit their lands. We're both kind of stuck right now. Gives me the turn back here. Serum Visions is an excellent draw here. Getting a trigger off of Thing in the Ice, plus getting to take a look at the next 2 cards trying to find that land. Thank you for the follow, King of Susa. Exquisite Firecraft. We hit an Inquisition and a Thing in the Ice here. I really need a land. Let's bottom both of these. I don't want to be taking my next turn doing pretty much nothing. Opponent's turn. Let's see if they find their land. Our next 2 cards were not going to be land, so it's good that Serum Visions got rid of those. We miss a land again, but we at least get a sleight of hand here. The Thing in the Ice going down to 1, and hopefully finding a land. I have a radio voice, thank you. Watery Grave has been found. Excellent. Now we have Exquisite and Unmoored Ego to go. My opponent is failing to find things. We can name lands. We can name like Temple Garden or something ridiculous. Stomping Ground again or whatever. My opponent won't have lands left. Alright, if I Exquisite them for 4, this flips. It's probably the closest thing to having lethal here. So I think I want to just fire this off, flip the Thing in the Ice, smack him for 7, hit him with the Exquisite Firecraft, or remove the blocker and we'll be good to go. Maybe even a Sportscaster? Ooh. We're casting Magic the Gathering. It's like sports casting, sort of. There's the fetch land we needed. them to find. They fetch here. The Awoken Horror is lethal. Unless they play Knight of Autumn down and gain 4. They do that, I'll probably anger the gods to move it out of the way and hit them for 7. And then they'll need something else here, or I'll be killing them soon enough. Fetches and shocks here. Plays Knight of Autumn, gaining 4. Now I kind of just want to collect a Conjuring to see if I can win this game on the spot. Let's go ahead and get a Steam Vents. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to attack. They'll need to block. If they don't block, I can Exquisite Firecraft. My assumption is they will block here. And if they do that, then I can play like Unmoored Ego and Sleight of Hand here, rather than playing the removal. So let's do Sleight of Hand here just to see what we've got coming. Let's we're not bottoming. That's right, Sleight of Hand. I guess I'll put a Serum Visions into hand, and then we'll cast a Unmoored Ego here on Prime Speaker. Vanifar. Click, click, click. Ah, I want to see what their hand has. Don't concede. Well, they conceded too quickly for me to take a look at their hand. I saw some white card in there. I think it was Restoration Angel. But yeah, there we go. All right, we stole some stuff. We stole some things. Yeah, this is probably okay. There's probably even a world where I'd prefer the Feed the Swarm now, just to kill a creature so they can't Evolution or use Vanifar. So I think I'm going to bring that in. I'm starting to feel like this Engineered Explosives is cute, but it's only like going to buy me 1 turn. 1 turn could be a lot, though. Let's get rid of a Bedlam Reveler, and let's send it back. Really, this list can win with the Thing in the Ice pretty quickly, so I don't need as many Bedlam Revelers necessarily. Having the Bedlam Revelers plays nicely with all the spells, but that might be a card worth cutting. His hand's pretty decent. Is this Fancy Coco, Fancy Jund, or Fancy Burn? This is Grixis. This is Grixis Coco. Grixis Coco, as seen in the title. All right, let's start with this Thoughtseize here. We can Legion's End the Bird of Paradise if we wanted to. All right, what do we got? A Chord of Calling. That's kind of dangerous. Prime Speaker, all these. I think it's probably just got to be Chord of Calling. I can go get some things, and that's not a good idea. Let's take that. I will try to sleep again. Have fun and good luck. May the power of Exodia be with you. Thank you. Good luck on your sleeping. Glad you stopped by. One Slept Teeth for my opponent. They have 3 mana, but nothing was 3 mana. If I go Legion's End on the bird here, they may path the bird. Probably just want a Dreadbore. Dreadbore kills a lot more stuff, though. Let me attempt a Legion's End here. The Legion's End is going to be hit or miss going forward. My opponent's creatures are relatively large. Dreadbores will be nice. They can always Restoration in here. I have a feeling this is just going to path the bird. They don't need to fetch and shock here. They should just do this off of the Bird of Paradise if they do. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Cool. Not a dangerous hand so far. Kiki, Restoration Angel. You know, not a dangerous hand. We're all sorcery speed, and Restoration Angel can show up at instant speed. No problems, no problems. Finally, I can make it to one of your streams. Always catching YouTube from behind. Thank you. Let's go fetch here for... I mean, they're just a combo deck here. I can get like Watery Grave. And then we'll do a sleight of hand here, hoping that I hit a Thoughtseize. I have Blightning. Guess I'll take that. Alright. This isn't gonna be good. We could die out of nowhere here. They don't have enough red really to cast Kiki Jiki, which is maybe one saving grace here. But if they hit 2 red lands following this, we could be in trouble. Alright. Bird of Paradise. That would give them some of that mana that they're needing. There's a Thing in the Ice. Thing in the Ice plus Dreadbore here. See if they want a path. I guess. Let's see if we survive here. And Dreadbore Bird. We're Dreadboarding the Bird 1 to give Thing in the Ice a counter type of thing. Probably shouldn't matter because of path. But also because if they get this Restoration Kiki and they're able to cast Kiki, I'm in a lot of trouble. They do give us the path, which is super nice of them. I'm going to take a little more red mana since I have a lot of red cards in hand. And it looks like Bird of Paradise is going to die. My opponent has combo pieces. I'd love to see a land and them just jam Prime Speaker. That way I could Blightning them and then be good to Exquisite Firecraft the Prime Speaker. Looks like my opponent does nothing here. They have several cards. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, Blightning's not really going to get much better here. Let's see if I can take some pieces of their combo here. A follow-up Blightning or a Conjuring here would be able to strip the hand of quite a few things. It's definitely not a bad thing. Prime Speaker and Kiki Jiki hit the bin. We'll go ahead and Steam Vent sideways and pass turn. Restoration plus an unknown card is left for them. And it wasn't a land. They didn't play it. Three mana Renegade Rallier. A solid 3/2. We'll probably just kill that. And we will kill it by using Exquisite Firecraft, Dreadbore, a little bit lighter on the mana requirements, plus kills kind of all creatures where Exquisite Firecraft could have a problem. So another Blightning would be cute. All right. We'll take a peek here. I don't think they have anything they could have cast other than maybe it's another Path to Exile. Oh, all right. Chord of Calling's not a bad pickup there. We'll pass the turn. Why do the Grixis lands have to be so cute? I don't think they're cute. Night of Autumn here. We have a removal for this. Come on, Conjuring, where are you at? This is a little scary using Dreadbore just on a Night of Autumn. Alright, it's not as scary anymore. We can go ahead and Thoughtseize away. Probably... It's probably Prime Speaker here. We have a decent amount of ways to get rid of this Restoration Angel. Prime Speaker is kind of dangerous because if they get a follow-up creature, then they can kind of go off. Let's take the Prime Speaker here, and then I'm going to go ahead and Dreadbore the Knight of Autumn. Our life total does matter. Restoration Angel versus 1,000 lands. I guess I'm hoping they don't find a land here, but they do. So we have a Restoration Angel to beat here, and they can flash this in. Exquisite Firecraft is a good card here. It can at least kill the Restoration Angel. I do have to take 3 from it. One good thing here is by flashing in Restoration Angel, which looks like what they're going to do here, they can't kill me out of nowhere. They can't get a land plus Kiki Jiki, so we should be safe here. We are a bit flooded for 20 lands in the list. It's a little unusual, especially since we've used at least 1 fetch land. But it happens. It's a thing that happens. All right, down to 8 here. I almost just hope they play another creature like a Bird of Paradise or something. Maybe even... Oh, Spellskite wouldn't be very good. Just a small creature. No, stop. Conjuring. Okay, we have a chance to hit our Conjuring. Let's see what's up. Let's draw a card. All right, well, we get to Exquisite Firecraft Prime Speaker, Exquisite Firecraft Restoration Angel, and then Bedlam Reveler off the top. So, you know, we're gonna get there. It's feeling good. What is it? I just realized the MTG bot's not working today either. Magic is just struggling today. All right, Bedlam Reveler. Make us proud. Come on. Come on. Great cards, great cards. Let's get a Conjuring. Man, come on. We'll do a Thing in the Ice here. Polluted Delta can be played. I'm going to fetch to thin the list ever so slightly more. We will then Sleight of Hand here, helping out our Bedlam Reveler and Thing in the Ice. Record's broken right now. MTG bot's not working. Magic Online is lagging. Well, take a Serum Visions. Let's go ahead and spin the wheel here again. Let's yield to some of these. We're currently 0-2. Believe we're 1-1 here. Ooh. Okay. Bottom, and we can top the Serum Visions. Ooh. This is like really weird with Thing in the Ice, but you know, we gotta try things sometimes. Oh. No, don't Restoration Angel me, please. Okay. Sure, you can have that. By all means. Windswept Teeth here too, and we have a Village Bell Ringer. Opponent is fetching here. It's funny because if I bounce the Village Bell Ringer here, my opponent does get to just replay it anyway. GG? How is this GG? All right, let's Serum Visions for starters here. Let's just find a removal spell for this, and I think we win. Draws A. It's not a removal spell. You can bottom both of these. So, what I can do here, I could play Anger, then Bedlam. Anger flips this. Bedlam could find things that could try to steal this away. I don't get to play Kess if I do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. I could also Anger and Kess, which should be lethal. Let's go ahead and Anger to bounce some stuff here. My opponent's gonna have one draw here, it looks like. Kind of want to just play Kess next. Be like, I will kill you with this. So we're hitting for 7 here. Unless my opponent blocks. Oh yeah, never mind. Ha, horror. My opponent has to block. I forgot this was a horror. That's crazy. The synergies. That's why this is all together. I'm a blue-red mage, obviously. All right, we hit for 5 here. Puts them to 6. We're gonna go ahead and play Cast Down. Seems safe to do. There we go. Grixis colors. Cast in play. Go ahead, opponent. We did it. We did it. Nice. All right, we put a few pieces together. We won a match. We're 1 and 2 overall with the list so far. Ooh, collected Conjuring, and we would have hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We would have hit a Thoughtseize to check, and then 2 deeper. 1, 2, Flame Slash plus EE. Nice. Plus this. Let's go. Let's go. 1, 2. Making something happen. I like it. That's what we needed to do. That's what we needed to do. The list can win, and that's always super important. Calico Zach, what's up? Welcome back. 5 months on a 4-month streak. 54. 5 months. Thank you. Thank you for the Prime Gaming. I hope my thanks is really appreciated and understood from all the subs each and every night. Without your support, the stream may not exist. Thank you. Next match. Again, I think the 2-drop slot's a little light here. Let's see if it continues to be that way. Let's go. Match 4. Playing this Grixis Coco in Modern. Hey, there's Cass. Some removal. Not a lot of interaction here, but I think we're going to go ahead and just give it a try. If my opponent's playing multiple creatures like we've seen all night, Anger of the Gods should be relatively okay. Of course, though, we're against a control matchup. This is going to be interesting. Ooh, it's a nice little draw off the top. We'll go get a Watery Grave here. And take a peek at what's going on. It's not the Coco you were expecting. Wow. Okay, my opponent's got nothing going on. Let's get rid of that Logic Knot. Okay. Okay. Teferi and Snappy. Teferi and Snappy. We're definitely here to confuse, Calico. We're here to confuse. Oh, that's a really pretty decent draw there. Steam Vents will be the option here. We'll slap down a Thing in the Ice. Nice. We'll accept Thing in the Ice here. What's really a bit awkward with Thing in the Ice in this matchup is Snapcaster Mage exists. We'll see how relevant that becomes. Polluted Delta fetching a Watery Grave, Flooded Strand from the hand played. 2 brand new cards picked up that we're unfamiliar with and do not know what they are. Let's go ahead and go checking the hand again. Inquisition, this would get rid of the Snapcaster Mage, making it so will not, logic not our Kess here, hopefully. It does play Snapcaster. I have a feeling they have nothing else in hand. Who knew? Inquisition, the counter spell before the counter spell. And exactly as expected, nothing's been picked up here. Let's just Scalding Tarn here for extra black, I suppose. And pass a turn. Your move, opponent. I hope I get cast down. There's not much in the graveyard, though, other than I can fire off a few Inquisitions over time, and then Thing in the Ice will flip. That would bounce Snapcaster and not be ideal. Watery Grave played. Plays it tapped. Does not attack. I suppose I want to kill this Snapcaster Mage at some point here. I believe this is the turn to go ahead and get cast down, so we will attempt. Now we cannot cast Inquisitions, I don't think, because you need to pay for them, I'm pretty sure. So just double check that. But that's cool, because we can anger the gods and check the hand here. I'm expecting the hero to show up. Maybe they just play hero and try to bounce cast, I don't know. Swamps played, tapping plenty of mana. The hero has shown itself. Bounces Kess 3 deep. I don't have a way to get rid of the Snapcaster and attack with Thing in the Ice just yet. Definitely do not. Still would like to pick up Kess. Let's go ahead and attempt and anger the gods. We know it's Glacial plus something else here. This gets rid of the Snapcaster so we don't bounce Snapcaster back to hand. That being said, Thing in the Ice is at 2 counters thus far. Your move, opponent. A little afraid that this Teferi is going to take over this game. Haven't hit as many collected Conjurings as I would like to. Up goes Teferi. Castle, that's a pretty good card. Esper Charm. Gets rid of Polluted Delta plus Anger the Gods. We know about a Glacial Fortress for my opponent and 2 unknowns. Teferi untap Castle plus Hallowed Fountain so that they can scry. We're about to get real buried here. Kess? No contract. Ooh, hold up, hold up. Let's spin the wheel. I'm hoping they don't have a counterspell. Likely they do. But let's try. Resolve. Oh, okay. Do I just Firecraft Teferi here? Flip this? Hold on. What if I were to Firecraft them twice? No, that would be only 15 damage. I have too many options. I expected this to be countered. I think it's Firecraft plus Sleight of Hand here. And I think it's going to be Sleight of Hand here just to pick up hopefully another Conjuring or some extra value here. And the Firecraft is to get rid of the Teferi. So let's go ahead and Firecraft Teferi. And let's Sleight of Hand as well. Triggers. Oh, yes. Bouncy, bouncy. Come on, opponent. Snapcaster Esper Charm right there. You missed out. Yes. It's just what we wanted. They didn't counter the first one, so they'll have to pick up a counter spell here off the top. We're going to go ahead and attack for 7. Put them down to 9. Good luck. They do get a scry here. They're going to need some counter spells. They're also going to have to deal with the Awoken Horror. We're probably going to attack first, threatening 7, and Exquisite Firecraft could just kill him off the top. That sleight of hand, find that Conjuring. Woo! Opponent puts 2 cards to the bottom, spins the wheel here on a random card off the top. Oh, 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 oh. New Teferi. Oh. Smart move, playing around the spell Pierce. New Teferi bounces Awakened in Horror. Looks like I'm going to be spinning the wheel. Okay. Spinning the wheel means I don't get another thing in the ice, at least not immediately. But I believe this is what we need to be doing. I still spin the wheel here, I believe. Yes, with haste. Oh my gosh, I only found 1 spell here. I guess I'll get rid of the Teferi here. I found exactly 1 spell there. That was awful. That was awful. I have 27 hits in the list. I hit 1 in the top 6 there, knowing 1 was Thing in the Ice. I don't think I beat a Teferi, so kind of had to go for it there. Oh, they just boot up Colonnade. Boots up Colonnade. Just like, I don't care, I'm hitting you for 4. 9 all. Alright. I understand, sort of. Come on, lands. Come on. We'll put Thing in the Ice down, pass the turn. Please do not have a path, a Fatal Push, a Snapcaster. Opt. Card to the bottom and draws. Baby Teferi you would play collected at the end. And it can't be countered. Yeah, you could go into a Jeskai list for sure. You just have to be a lot of sorcery speed for the Conjuring, but yeah, something you could do. Drown Catacombs, and why does this look weird? Looks strange. All right, booting up. Oh, we're just booting up. In we go. Now we do have Cryptic Mana online. Opponent also gets to attack for 4 here, putting me to 5. Please, no more lands. Thank you. Serum, Sleight of Hand, Exquisites. All right, I'll take that. Start with a Sleight of Hand. I mean, I have to do Conjuring here, right? Conjuring can flip Thing in the Ice. We could just win right here. We could win right here. Spin. Oh, is my opponent F6? Oh, no, they yielded the Thing in the Ice. Okay. Do you have a counter? By doing Thoughtseize, I die to myself. I can't do that. I have to do Sleight of Hand plus Serum Visions. We'll do Sleight of Hand first, followed by Serum Visions. Or sorry, Serum Visions first to Scry, then Sleight of Hand. This does make Awoken Horror flipped, so we do hit them down a little bit here. Dreadbore's not bad. We'll bottom both of these, as we don't need another Dreadbore here. Sleight of Hand. Blightning is lethal, so I'll pick up Blightning over the Sleight of Hand there. We'll attack for 7. Down to 2. All right. Down to 2. My opponent can hit me for 4 with Colonnade. Please don't have Snapcaster right here. You can draw 2. Have your 2 cards. Have your 2 cards, opponent. Take them. Enjoy them. Hold them. Enjoy. All right. Opts to draw more cards here, knowing that Colonnade attack here is not lethal. Plays Island. Are we going to boot up Colonnade here? Which if they... Oh, Jace! Jace, you're so good! No! Okay. They could have Archmage Charm, they could have a Logic Knot, they could have a Mana Leak here. They bounce to not die. Thoughtseize, Inquisition, something to take a peek at the hand. Take the peek that we need. What's going on over there, opponent? What is this? What is this? Snapcaster and a Mana Leak. They Snapcaster in, they have Opt. So I just take the Mana Leak. Get him. 3 damage. Get him. Oh, that was close. That was close. Easy. Yeah. You weren't the one having a heart attack about this one. Opponent is going down to some cards here. Nothing they can do about this. Snapcaster, that's fine. You opt, you won't have a blue card in hand for that Force of Negation that you want so bad. Opponent opts. Okay. And done. All right, we have to beat a Esper control list here. Esper control list. I wonder if we should bring this card in. Unclear. Unclear. So, Collective Brutality seems decent. Last Hope, maybe Unmoored. And Boseiju, to me, makes the most sense here. I don't care about their graveyard. Don't really care about what Feed and Legion hits. Pillage may just stay in the list for Colonnade. Possibly. What is Boseiju for? To prevent them from countering me. So then I can do Collected Conjuring, and they may not be able to counter both afterwards. Boseiju is literally for this match, like the counter matchup. Flame Slash seems weak. Anger of the Gods seems a little sleek. What if opponent's not control? Then you don't bring Boseiju in. Then you don't bring it in. It doesn't belong. Not allowed. It stays in the sideboard. All right, I like the Chandras, I like the Bedlams. I sort of like the Thing in the Ice enough that I might cut one here for something like a Planeswalker finisher instead. Boseiju probably could just replace something, but could also just be a 21st land. Oh, no, I'm just... If I'm not bringing this in, when would I bring it in? I think Unmoored Ego might be just a little too greedy to bring in. Let's do these out first. All right, Last Hope as another win condition seems fine. 2 Collected Brutalities seems okay. Let's do 1 pillage one unmoored ego here. Let's bring a Viseju in for probably a, I want to say a fetch land. You know what? Let's not do the unmoored ego. That seems greedy. Let's just pillage Thing in the Ice here. Pillaging their lands isn't a bad idea either. So we'll send it like this. I'm not going to bring any extra collective brutalities in. They don't have that many creatures. I would bring in all 3 against, say, burn, which I believe I did earlier. I don't think brutality should be mainboarded, but could be wrong. Look at this hand. Look at this hand. Tap land, non-tap land, black cards. We don't do anything for a while. If I hit a black land here, though, it's pretty good. I guess I can keep this. It's like kind of really medium. I don't think it's going to hurt us to keep this. We can just Sulfur Falls and then hope to hit some black mana here. If I tried a Mardu Reanimator list, I have. Maybe not the exact one you're thinking of, but Scalding Tarn was literally the perfect pickup here. Because we have so much red in our hand, we'll probably get Blood Crypt over Watery Grave here. Drowned Catacombs. No fetch lands. My opponent could have a mana leak here. Easily we'll be burning this Collective Brutality to take a peek at what's going on. Blood Crypt. Okay. Chandra's definitely not a bad one here. Let's take a peek at what's going on. I like the Chandra because I think a Planeswalker here is a really good way to win this game. Opponent stumbles on lands. Maybe I pillage. If not, maybe a Blightning. We'll see. We'll see. Oh. Grixis Coco, that's illegal? Huh. Kaya's Guile doesn't really upset me. I kind of just want to take this Cryptic Command, but the opt is like I could take the opt here, and then my opponent's just playing Glacial Fortress Snapcaster opt next turn, and I'm Blightning in response to all that. I could also probably pillage a land at that point, hitting the white lands. The Kaya's Guile is not a thing against Bedlam Reveler. Kind of like just taking this opt. Let's do it. Let's do it. I think I'm going to pillage first now. Take him off white. You think Esper Reanimator is better? Lost to Obsidat on Sunday. Whew. Obsidat. The daddy. Alright, my opponent had one chance to find a counterspell. Pillage seems to set them back nicely, and now the opt will have to find lands over something else. Seems good. Let's go ahead and let's fire off a pillage, get rid of some white. Here comes Snappy. Snappy Opti. Then we can just like Collective Brutality or just slam a Chandra probably at this point. Thoughtseize turn 1, Vengeance turn 2. Woo! This opt went bottom, so they took a random card. That pillage seems like it's going to set them back real far here. We'll see. Attacks for 2. Yeah, this is Chandra territory if I top deck a land. Yes. We're just going to slam the Chandra here. Slam the Chandra. Never didn't have it. I may just even go up here. Ooh, oh. All right. Got leaked. Got leaked. Guess I could have taken the turn to Collected Brutality, but the idea is if we had the Chandra down, uptick the mana, get to Brutality, Blightning, all kinds of cool things. Almost hoping for a black source here so I can Blightning plus Collected Brutality. Now I'm like super nervous if they have another counterspell here. They can't have another one, right? There's no way they have another one. Spin the wheel. Spin the wheel. Exactly. Get out of here, opponent. Let's Blightning them. And let's Sleight of Hand to set up our next turn. I don't care about Snapcaster. Snapcaster's garbage. Take Liliana, can't cast it, but that's okay. We'll find that black source. Darkslick Shores isn't what I wanted to play anyway. And if we don't find the black source, we'll just Brutality it away. Yeah, that's the Coco. You got it. Totally legal now. Oh my gosh, Jace and Kalidas? Holds on to Cryptic and Kaya's Guile? You're insane, opponent. What's up, Thylian? Not much. We're watching Evan on one screen. We're streaming for you all on the other. Actually, he's not playing balloons. Get out of here, Evan. Opponents failed to find a land for forever. Esper Charm shut off because I pillaged the Glacial Fortress. Opponent holds on to Cryptic and Kaya's Guile and get rid of Jace and Kalidas. Opponent opts. Might be time to Blightning them again. Oh no, they found a land. Oh my gosh. Let's start with a Sleight of Hand here. Collector Conjuring seems really good here and then we do a Blightning right now. And that'll get rid of all but one card here. And then I can Collected Conjuring and it should be good. It'll be not countered. And then who knows where we go from there. Cryptic and Kaya's Guile hit the bin. One unknown little card, probably Esper Charm. Fetching. Hallowed Fountain. Tax for 2. I'm gonna Conjuring again here. We're just all in on the Conjurings. Thoughtseize would be cute. Let's not do that. Conjuring. We're here to conjure. Then maybe Exquisite plus Thoughtseize or something. Whoa, 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 opponent. Ops in response to Conjuring. They're trying to find that counterspell. They're afraid, like they should be. They should be very afraid here. Things are about to get conjured. Ugh, pillage, that's it? Well, goodbye, White Source. Ugh, how can I miss so often? Unbelievable. Teferi stops it? No, it makes it instant speed. You mean if they had it? Why would they have that? That'd be rude. Yes, it would stop it. All right, this feels like Thoughtseize plus something else. Maybe Exquisite Firecraft here. We're gonna go to 6 by doing this. I have the Brutality to gain a little bit of life too. There's the Esper Charms we thought they might have. We'll go ahead and get rid of the 2/1 that's been beating us down for the entire game. 1 Esper Charm in my opponent's hand. I'd actually like to steal this away possibly next turn. Esper Charm drawing some cards here is definitely not ideal for us. Okay. Thing in the ice down here. We'll follow it with a Collected Brutality. as I prefer to get rid of this Esper Charm, possibly. And I don't believe I'm going to gain 2 life here. I think my life total is relatively high for a control versus semi-control as we are. Thing in the Ice is great. Opponent hasn't been able to Kaya's Guile, hasn't been able to Esper Charm. This was due to both of our pillages, and we were going to bring in an Unmoored Ego. Uh-oh, Snapcaster Mage. Uh-oh. Snapcaster plus Opt is probably the turn here. At least I've got an 0-4 blocker. Here comes Snapcaster. Oh, Opt. Opting it is. No surprises there. Opponent takes a random card to the hand. Let's see how random it is. Scry is. By the way, taking him off white keeps him off Teferi too. It's good stuff. Card has been placed on top. Not so random it is. Opponent's turn takes a draw. One card that they wanted? Celestial Colonnade. That makes sense. They need white mana. Alright, let's find this black mana. If not, it might be time for a Bedlam Reveler. I mean, why not? We could actually spin the wheel into a Collected Conjuring into a Blightning here, bounce Snapcaster, and make them discard it. Oh, don't counter this. Unbelievable mana leak. Opponent's got it all. Go ahead, opponent. Semi-control? I mean, we're just like spells. We're not really mid-range, I don't think. Conjuring does trigger Thing in the Ice 3 times if it would have happened. It did not happen. What is it? They drowned me. Hits me for 2. Colonnade is potentially a kill here, depending on what kind of mana they find here. Gonna start with... we can do a sleight of hand here. Get a Steam Vents. We're going to play this tapped. I'm going to Exquisite Firecraft, Snapcaster here, and pass. This needs 5 mana, so we're a little safe from it. Opponent finds land, and it's a good one. They can do their scry thing. We are currently at 4, making Colonnade currently lethal. Finding Kess would give me an extra turn, possibly. Kess is pretty good here. If my opponent misses, then I could theoretically pillage it, right? And so here I need to sleight of hand here and hope they miss. What have we learned? What Fluffy says comes true. We'll get another land here. Tap it, tap it. So no land off the top or tap land? Question mark? No white source. There, we can ask for that. That's a little less likely. Flying Kess is okay. Counter spells would be a problem. One on top and one on bottom. They found something they like. Fetch land. Oh, it's a Hallowed Fountain. Oh my gosh. I can't beat Colonnade here. I can block it once, but I can't do it again. I don't have any more flying. What do I need here? Need a miracle. Collective Brutality plus Bedlam Reveler might get me out of it. I don't have another pillage in the list. Red Boar's not it, but we can at least spin the wheel with Bedlam Reveler. Brutality, Collected Conjuring, something to gain me a little bit of life here. Oh my gosh, nothing. I'm gonna hold everything. I got Fatal Push in hand. I hit gas, opponent. Your colonnade is dead. Don't boot it up. Careful, careful. I might kill ya. Yeah, scry, scry. Oh, float the mana. Maybe it'll scare them from attacking. I have black condemn. Called my bluff. Well played. Well played. Go to sideboard here. Maybe I should have played the Bedlam Leveler earlier. I was banking too much on Liliana. Liliana, out of here. Pillage in. Pillage was a rock star. Maybe I need Unmoored Ego for a Colonnade. I would have lost the next turn anyway. I wasn't drawing anything to take care of the Colonnade. I don't think I want Unmoored Ego. I think that's just a meme. I mean, like, Liliana Last Hope resolving's pretty spicy. Let's keep the 1 up there because I can get Kess back and Bedlam Reveler back as long as my opponent doesn't path us. We're gonna be on the play. We did so much Conjuring too. Oh my gosh. Okay, this hand may not be keepable. I wouldn't have had to block with Kess, maybe. And then I drain, who knows? I think I have to mulligan this. This doesn't look right. 2 Bedlam Revelers doesn't feel good. Okay. Okay, we can keep this. Keep this, get rid of the Firecraft. Yeah, get rid of the Firecraft. Fetch Shock, Watery Grave, it looks like. What if I were to get... Yeah, I've got to get a Watery Grave. I know it doesn't give me Pillage, but I have to have this in case I get Sleight of Hand or Serum Visions. This is an awful hand to play against. Yeah, that would have meant I needed to pitch the Liliana. I also could have not taken so many attacks with the Snapcaster Mage. Got a couple ops here in this Drown the Lock. Drown the Lock can be taken here. Honestly, maybe I just take Archmage and Drown the Lock here. So I'll take Drown first, then Archmage. And then Blightning to clean up some stuff. My opponent's kept 2 lands here, so if I spike a land off the top, it might be Brutality into Pillage. I can't say with certainty if I should drain here. I do hit a land, unfortunately it's a Watery Grave. I will be able to Blightning, so I'm just gonna reveal their hand and steal something from them. Kaya's Guile again. Once again, I don't care about that card as much. Let's steal the Archmage Charm. This does give them a few ops to find lands here, making the pillage a little bit less interesting. But definitely something I'm willing to play. Opponent puts a card immediately on the top. There's that Polluted Delta. One of ops been played. Okay. Well, we're just working up the spells here. Let's go ahead and nail them for 3. Blightning here, make them discard 2 cards. Or attempt to. They might opt trying to look for, say, a Force of Negation. We haven't seen a Force of Negation yet from my opponent, but doesn't mean they don't have 1 or 2. Bottom's the card to take a random card. Ends up doing something with damage. Oh, they take the damage. Drowned Catacombs and Polluted Delta. Snapcaster, Kaya's Guile, and probably a land is left would be my guess. All right, red source here. I'm really tempted to pillage this Glacial Fortress. I could also collect a Conjuring. I'm doing nothing. We didn't know we were going to draw that Watery Grave, otherwise I would have gotten a Blood Crypt at the beginning to Thoughtseize and then have the double red. We were playing for the other 8 cards we have. Looks like they're going to Kaya's Guile here. They have Esper Charm drawing too, would be pretty strong here for them. Okay. Are we going to lose to 1-1? I hope not. They exiled my graveyard. Extra land here. We have Snap Opt. We have Snap Drown in the lock. So I probably have to wait on Collected Conjuring and attempt to pillage if we find a land. It's a tap land. Spire Bluff Canal comes into play tapped, unfortunately, so we're not going to curve out pillage into Collected Conjuring here. I could see Snapcaster plus just Opt here to filter to the top of their library. We are at 12, 4-turn clock. Not looking too good for us. Card topped and immediately drawn. The draws are so bad. Oh, land, Teferi? Big Teferi. All right. All right. I guess I'm going to have to Conjuring here. Hope that their top is not like Mana Leak or Logic Knot here. In for 3. We have ways to get rid of Teferi here off of one of these Conjurings. Untaps Watery Grave, Glacial Fortress here, representing Drown the Lock, Mana Leak, Logic Knot, you know, everything. All right. Best value here has got to be Collected Conjuring. Exquisite Firecraft does not have Spell Mastery anyway. This is pretty good. All right, so we have a Dreadbore to kill Teferi here and an Exquisite Firecraft to kill a Snapcaster. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Gotta slow the clock down just a little bit. We're refueling, so the Spell Mastery should be on. Okay. Achievement unlocked. Kill Teferi and Snapcaster for 4 mana. Land played. 2 cards remaining and a flying 1/1, giving us a hug. Down to 8. I can conjure again, I think. Gotta just hope they don't have another Snapcaster to counter with. So off we go. All right, Dreadbore to kill the Spirit token, Sleight of Hand to pick up something else. They could have like Path or something. Conjuring again. They didn't counter the last Conjuring, so we're doing it again. Good luck, opponent. This means they do not have Snapcaster. They could have another Kaya's Guile, I suppose. Kaya's Guile, full value. There's a 1/1. Glad I didn't do that. The Bedlam Reveler just dies to the Kaya's Guile right now. Land and an unknown card here. Once again, they didn't counter, so I think this should resolve. This also turns Spell Mastery back on and helps the Bedlam Reveler if we hit a full hand here. Spin the wheel. Well, guess I'll Blightning you and Inquisition you. I'm going to make you discard that card regardless. It's a swamp. All right, Exquisite Firecraft back online. It's called like Kaya's Guile in blue-black colors instead of white-black. I mean, Drown the Lock's pretty good. Interaction of the graveyard and has a counter, but also has a removal. That's pretty close. My opponent plays a Polluted Delta, giving me the signal that the swamp remains in hand here. Because we saw this card. Didn't we? No, we made them discard the swamp. That's right. Thoughtseize with Exquisite Firecraft here. Do I even need a Thoughtseize here? Gosh, that's so dangerous. Let's do it. In with the Thoughtseize. Oh, there was nothing there. Death to the spirit. And let's move on. All right. So my opponent has, what, Flooded Strand or something like that in hand? Plays that Flooded Strand. Unknown cards remain. Bedlam Reveler's turn to show up. Let's go ahead and... I guess I don't want a sleight of hand. Sleight of hand makes this cheaper. If I hit a land, I suppose it's a little bit nicer. Let's do this. Sleight of hand. No, Chandra. All right, I'll take my land here. We'll play my land. We'll Bedlam Reveler for 2. It was going to be 3 anyway, so sleight of hand got me a land. And we'll see what else I pick up here. Won't fetch. Just going to take the draw. I'm not going to fetch here. I don't feel like it's a smart move. Not with our current state of 4 life versus 16. Serum Visions here. Bottom Pillage, top new Serum Visions. Collective Brutality looks nice for next turn. Serum Visions plus Collective Brutality, ditching like Dark Slick Shores or maybe Steam Vents. All seems good. Opponent's got 2 minutes on their clock. Hopefully we don't beat them by just that. Alright, Snapcaster Mage here, Kaya Guile here. Doing Snapcaster plus Kaya's Guile gives them 3 attack power here. And then I lose Bedlam Reveler, so not fetching is super important here. Collective Brutality will be trying to gain life and kill Snapcaster, most likely. The flying token will be a slight problem, and it will only gain me 2 extra turns. Serum Vision hopefully is going to set something nice up for us. I believe I'll need more red moving forward, so Steam Vents into play tapped will be the play. I hope we gain life with the Collective Brutality. I think 1, 2, 1, 2. I can't play around Mana Leak, so let's start with a Serum Visions. Let's take a Sleight of Hand next turn and get rid of the thing in the ice. Let's use a Collective Brutality to the max here. Getting rid of Dark Slick plus Pillage, and I'm going to put a Steam Vents into play tapped. Hoping this doesn't get countered. Oh no, they're countering. No! Counter draw! Dang. Looks like they're going to get us here with the last points. Maybe there's something that I could have played differently there. In game 2, if we would have used the Collective Brutality like it was said earlier, maybe we would have been ahead because I would have been able to pillage the Colonnade. I would have known better. Oh, well, they got a Colonnade. I need to hang on to the pillage. That's a close one. This one was really good. It was fun. I enjoyed this one, even though it was pretty back and forth. I think with a little more planning. Sleight of Hand was going to reveal Bedlam. We would have played Bedlam and drawn, what, 3 more cards or whatever? Serum Visions to cast Serum Visions, drawing Scalding Tar and scrying those to the bottom. We may be 1-3, but this list is pretty sweet. I think I'm seeing what's missing though, and it's actually a typical problem, at least I've seen with Grixis, is you have a lot of answers for things. You can do all kinds of crazy stuff in terms of doing damage here, or you're able to remove something like planeswalkers or creatures. All of this can be done. The problem is, what do you have that closes the game? Blue-white Teferi progresses the game, closes the game. And you have, you know, Jeskai colors, you have a lot of burn that goes to hand. You got snap burn kind of approach that you can do. This list definitely has the Thing in the Ice going for it in the Bedlam Reveler. The question is the sorcery speed package with Collected Conjuring enough to get you to kind of the point where you can pivot from reacting to everything to then playing. I think Grixis has always struggled with it's much more reactionary. And so if you don't have the right cards, it won't line up. You saw the game where I had the pillage. It was fantastic. My opponent stumbled and we were great. They eventually can draw out of that though, because pillage doesn't progress the game state to a winning game state. It just kind of delays an inevitable of happening. Grixis is tough. I'd like to see like a Delver package in here. I agree. I like the Blood Chief's Thirst as well. Blood Chief's Thirst was mentioned, I think, by match 2 or so, because I kept dying to very quick lists. The other thing is we've been on the play, I believe, last 4 games. Here's a great hand. I'm going to keep it for trying it. I'm going to sleight of hand, probably get another spell or a land here, and then Exquisite Firecraft a few times and work our way up to Bedlam Reveler. Will it work? Haven't tried it yet. Let's give it a shot. It's the Mirror, Spirebluff Canal. There's a Soulscar Mage, Blood Chief's Thirst, yada yada yada, would want that here. Flame Slash would be fine. I have the one of. Let's go ahead and sleight of hand. Blightning's this interesting card. It works and doesn't all together. Let's put Serum Visions to hand. Let's try to fix the top of our library here a little bit. We can go get Steam Vents with the Scalding Tarn and then use Serum Visions trying to set ourselves up for lands. Firecraft isn't going to be too bad against what appears to be a prowess list. As long as they don't have mutagenic growth. In for 2. Land would be good here. Pillage is not good. All right, let's fetch immediately here. Steam Vents. And then let's Serum Visions. Collected Conjuring. We do find a mountain at least. Let's bottom and let's put mountain on top. All right. We have a few lines here where if my opponent plays a few things that are not super threatening, we could Blightning to get rid of anything that's future prowess. If they keep quite a few cards in hand here, we can Firecraft away one of their creatures. We may need to Firecraft the Sprite Dragon as it is growing here, and it's soon to get out of range. Collected Conjuring could hit a Dreadbore, which would kill Sprite Dragon. We only have 2 of those versus 4 of these. I think that's dangerous to rely on potentially Dreadbore in the future. Well, Serum Visions, a little bit of land. Here's a good example where this pillage is a little awkward. Hits for 4, puts us to 13. Luckily, it's a basic. 14's going down to 12 plus 2. That's 10. So we're at 10. Here's our Blightning. Could get rid of the last 2 spells. Kind of tempting. If I Blightning here, I take 4. If my opponent has like another Sprite or a Stormwing or something like that. So here's where I think, let's talk about the Grixis component here. I have the reactionary spells. Opponent's got a little bit of a board state because I've got spells that are a little bit later. And what do I do here? Do I react to getting rid of Sprite Dragon and risk whatever's in hand? Do I remove the hand from the play here and just take 4, potentially more? It's tough to say. I believe you can kick Coco spells. I'm going to hope they have just like kind of duds in hand here. I'm hoping that they don't have a mutagenic growth. I want to get rid of the creatures so I keep my life total a little bit higher, since Prowess does have the ability to burn us out. Opponent had mutagenic growth, and I think we lose from here. So if we would have Lightning there, maybe they burn us too. They might have had a Bolt. Could have easily held a Bolt, trying to play around a Bolt of our own that they are not aware of. We're not playing. There you go. Hits us for 5 here. Pretty much any spell kills us. Bolt. And they had the Bolt as well. So if we would have Lightning there, for example, they would have bolted potentially in response. Then we would have had the 2 and the 5 coming through, or actually it was 1 and 3. So 1 and 3, it would have been 1 and 4. That would have been 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe we live at 2. It's tough to say. If they top deck the Bolt, then the results are the same. If they didn't top deck the Bolt, maybe I live with 1 to 2 life there. Watergrave's not doing it though. All right, brutalities here, engineered explosives for this matchup. This is the pillage is definitely out kind of matchup here. I think thought seizes can be taken out as well. I believe this is the 5 I did both times, and I think it's a smart play. Legion's End has room here, potentially feed the swarm as well. I think I took a sleight of hand out. And I think I took a Thing in the Ice. I'm not going to do that this time. Maybe I took a Bedlam Reveler. I don't think I want to do that. Let's go ahead and take Kess out here. I got to play Kess. Kess without like a 1-drop here that's removal makes it a little awkward to maintain her, because at 5 mana you're not getting to like normally Flame Slash. Or if I had 3 or so Blood Chiefs, then I could like Kess plus that, which would be super nice. No lander here. Let's mulligan. All right. This looks good. This looks good, and I can get rid of the Feed the Swarm here. Or do I want to? What if I got rid of the engineered explosives? Feed the Swarm's going to do 1 to me. Yeah, let's do that. We'll go get that second red off the Polluted Delta, Steam Vents or something. This is a great example of like, hey, we filled it up with some of those 2-drops, and now we can be more... We can battle this a little bit better here. Wonder if I try to Collective Brutality this thing or not. I'm gonna get a Blood Crypt instead of Watery Grave. That way I can play the Collective Brutality or any of these without having to shock in the Watery Grave. I kind of want a Collective Brutality, but I know that's like risking that they just have a pump spell here. I'm gonna 2-mode this, take a peek, and try to kill. I'm not gonna gain the life here because I do kind of want to keep my lands. There we go, we get it. Lava Dart and a Wild Slash. Man, they have a lot of creatures to deal with here. I guess I don't want to give them the Lava Dart because they could pump something in the future easier. I think I'll just take the Wild Slash. Make them have to cast the Lava Dart to get it into the graveyard here, than rather giving it to them. Okay, this seems okay. Feed the Swarm, Dreadbore. If they play Sprite Dragon, we can kill it with like Dreadbore and then Feed the Swarm one of the 1-drops. They might play 2 1-drops here, which I'll just then Feed the Swarm one of them and hang tight. Let's say Mire played here, Soulscar Mage, Swift Spear. Okay, hits for 1 and passes it back. All right, we're down to 18. All right, Darkslick Shores here. Let's go ahead and feed the Swarm. Pass the turn. We don't put the Watery Grave in tapped. On the off chance I get Conjuring off the top, I could shock in, use Conjuring. which seems like a bit problematic because I don't want to take the 2 damage, but also I think if we just top deck Conjuring to stay on curve here, we have to accept 2 damage to our life total. All right, little Sprite Dragon here, Lava Dart open for my opponent. Could be a lot of prowess if they wanted to. Fires off Lava Dart. We're taking 4 here, going to 13. Plus the 1, 12. What's up, Werewolf? Down to 12, 1 card in hand. Let's take a peek at what that card is. Is Pyromancer's Ascension something that would fit? Possibly. Lightning Bolt's a really good one for us to steal here. Killing the Sprite Dragon's really good. This is probably about as good as it can be. We can put this into play tapped, Collected Conjuring off the top, or Bedlam Reveler here is probably our best draws now. So in for 1. Please don't light the stage. Okay. Need a good spell here. No good spell. I'm not going to worry about holding cards. I don't need to bluff too much here. My opponent's just going to go for it. The record is 1-3, and we are down a game here. Down a game. The list has been really fun and cool. It's got some gaps, unfortunately. We'll talk about those. Lava Dart into Stormwing here. We need a Conjuring with a Dreadbore plus Exquisite Firecraft probably. Would give me a shot here. I'm going to 8. They could Lava Dart, take me to a lot less. Put me to 4, which would be pretty good. Conjuring. All right. Exquisite Firecraft's interesting here. I can kill Soulscar Mage, or I can attempt to kill Stormwing. If I attempt to kill Stormwing, they Lava Dart twice here, putting me to 6, save the Stormwing. If I Firecraft here on their turn, they Lava Dart 6. This is at 5, and 1 spell kills me. I guess 1 spell kills me either way. So we'll Firecraft the Soulscar Mage here and hope. Because if I don't kill the Stormwing there, it gets really, really strange that if they do the double Lava Dart, even if they get like a 2-drop spell here, they'd have 2 creatures I have to deal with in the future. Dang it. Manamorphose is really bad for us here. Lava Darts. Floats mana to do this. I go to 7, 4/4 across from us. Extra Stormwing. Scry 2. Alright, and they hit us for 4 with 2 3/3s, and I only have Conjuring that can get me 2 spells, and it would have to be Dreadboard probably, because they have the Lava Dart. No, it could be Exquisite Firecraft. So Conjure? That's a land. That's a land. I think I was asking for Conjuring a lot for sure. Let's take a look at what those next cards were. Anger wouldn't have done it. They have Lava Dart unless my opponent F6. Those lands don't. There's one of them that potentially could hit that off. Chandra could have maybe down-ticked and killed one. Might have. 1/4 though with the list here. This is the full list. It's a sweet idea. Collected Conjuring here is the Coco of spells. Your build around requirement though is that they all must be sorcery. And although we have some pretty sweet sorcery cards in here, I think certain ones have to go. No, I don't go out on my own terms, Grace. So I think Pillage, although cute and interesting, I think Pillage can be cut here. I understand why Chandra is here as just kind of like an alternate win condition, but I actually want Chandra out as well. I think Flame Slash could be something different. I think we could cut a sleight of hand as well, possibly. That would be probably okay to do. And so you have maybe 6 slots here that we can work with. I almost would cut 1 Bedlam Reveler and maybe play an extra Kess. Maybe. So Barwick's got a good point. You could do Ancestral Visions. You can do Blood Chiefs. Blood Chief. I don't own a Blood Chief, that's why it's not showing up. You could do a Blood Chief's Thirst, which would be a way to combat some of these quicker lists. This was a kind of an interesting one that someone threw out. I think this actually has some merit here. Didn't really think about this card, but See Through Truth. Sorcery, 2 mana. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put one of those cards into your hand and the rest in the bottom of your library. If this spell was cast from anywhere other than your hand, put each of those cards into your hand. This seems like a really good like refuel. You could get all kinds of cards back into your hand. I like this. K-Command's instant speed. You could definitely play instant speed cards, but if you want to stay on theme with the Conjuring, you need sorcery speed cards. Pyromancer's Ascension's a bit of an interesting one as a finisher. Oh, helps if I... So whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that has the same name as a card in your graveyard, you may put quest counters and then you start doing damage. This is definitely something interesting. We don't exactly storm off here, but if you have enough 4-ofs or repetitive cards, you could do that. That could replace the Chandra as a win condition. I would only just be a little bit cautious of that because this is kind of a do-nothing card for our list, and we really need to be finding ways to interact with our graveyard. I like the idea of maybe Dreadhorde Arcanist with maybe Thoughtseize Inquisition. Don't worry about being only sorcery speeds. Play some Fatal Pushes or Bolts. Play maybe a K-Command, for example. Those cards could be something that would be interesting. Behold the Multiverse could definitely be a card because of the Foretold. The only thing is that Collected Conjuring and it would not work together. So you can scry 2, then draw 2 cards. This is an instant speed spell. You might as well just be playing Collected Conjuring, I think, at that point, because Behold is kind of just outside of what we're trying to do here. I don't know if Snapcaster Mage belongs in this list, but if you put Bolts and Snapcaster Mage, you could do something that way. One thing that's super nice, and we didn't see too much of this, but should be considered, is say you do Thing in the Ice plus a Thoughtseize on one turn. So Thing, Thoughtseize, great. Next turn, Collected Conjuring, you smack them with Exquisite Firecraft plus Blightning for 7 damage and then attack them for 7. That's a great turn 4. That never happened for us, but I think that's something that you should consider as a possibility of something that could happen with what you're doing. So Thing in the Ice plus a 1-drop into Collected Conjuring could just be potentially like 10 plus damage over the next 2 turns. I have nowhere. Kind of like play a Boomerang list. That'd be kind of interesting. The mana base has been a little bit tough here. I think I want 1 more land in here as well, which is where I would just probably replace like a Pillage with it. I think sideboard was actually pretty decent. I'd bring in this Pillage sideboard here and probably just bring the Boseiju main deck or not even worry about the Boseiju. Boseiju's kind of cool because you get to make it so that your spell is uncounterable, the Collected Conjuring, but after that your other spells are. So if you get like you know, they can't even counter Firecraft here, so they'll just counter your other spell. I think that should be something to consider. Boseiju, probably not a good one in the sideboard, and then up the land count by 1 based on our experience. I think in general, though, the list is really cool. I think I wouldn't divide what you're doing here. So this is more for Casey, this final little bit. I wouldn't divide what you're doing here necessarily and go crazy with instant speed spells and then not get the value of collected conjuring. But I would consider, do you want to continue down the Thing in the Ice and the Bedlam Reveler plan? Or do you want to do maybe a little bit of Snapcaster, maybe a little bit of Dreadhorde Arcanist, and maybe a little more Kess here? Because Kess works with instants and sorceries, and maybe cut a collected conjuring, and maybe cut maybe a Bedlam Reveler or an Anger of the Gods or something, and try to do Arcanist plus that to get your value going, that kind of value engine. I don't know, because I sit here and I go, I don't really like Blightning here. I understand it's nice that your opponent's discarding, you can hit Planeswalkers, you can hit them, but it's not removal. If I'm going to be doing 3 and discard 2, I almost like Skelemental better. And I know Skelemental doesn't fit into the theme of the list, but it's just something that I think it's one of those you have to decide if you want to stay super on the collected conjuring, in which case I would definitely keep your Blightnings. But if you're willing to go a little bit more into Dreadhorde Arcanist, a few instant spells, maybe cut 1 collected conjuring, double up your Kesses, Dreadhorde Arcanist, and have fun. That would be a little bit more impacted by Graveyard. So are you willing to do that over your kind of spells? I'll leave it up to you. This is a pretty cool list. Casey donated for it. I appreciate Casey for doing that and supporting the stream. If you want to be like Casey, you can check out !tip or donate in the channel or down below for the YouTube folks. Grixis Coco. Still blast to play. Needs a little tuning.